Hey there, Midwest propagandist viewers. I decided I'm not going to let the channel die after all. This is going to be my practice channel. So, the Secret Order of Sobek will be the channel I try on. This will be the channel I'll try new things. So, right now, I'm going to do a review of some library books. So, I got to return them today. They are all overdue. So I've been going on studying the Egyptians, like worldview, religion, like all that kind of stuff. Been on an Egyptian kick lately, and got this book from the Fargo Library, um, "The Egyptian Myths: A Guide to the Ancient Gods and Legends." Uh, like the artwork on the book, very cool. Some gold, looks like gold inlaid, and and this is a good introduction to like the basic beliefs of the general people. I would say like the first third of the book is good, and then it kind of gets bogged down, kind of like every other book does. No, and I didn't read. I read about the first third of the book, and then I was like, then I just skimmed the rest, and it was okay. But so that's a recommend, I guess, if you're into um, the if you're interested in the ancient Egyptian culture. Then the second book I got from the library was kind of, yeah, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I guess the Penguin Classics. So they kind of give like I could actually just publish the Book of the Dead on my own, that's not copyrightable, I believe, but they have a bunch of stuff in the beginning that explains everything. An introduction that's like maybe like 75, 100 pages, something like that. This part right here, the introduction is horrible. So I would recommend just jumping into the Book of the Dead itself, and then you kind of quickly realize what it is. It's a lot of it is just kind of spells they have written on their tombs or inside their masks that they wear that like tell the undead. Like one of the spells transfers them into Sobek. Another spell gives them dominion over the water. Kind of crazy stuff like that. So not a lot to learn. I guess maybe some insights into the the mythology of the Egyptians. One thing that I think is interesting in both these books is they talk a lot about how Horus, the son of Osiris, as a child, so Osiris was originally the king of Egypt. Then he gets killed by Set. Then Horus takes over after a bunch of battling and stuff. And Horus is kind of the good guy or whatever. But Horus had a lot of childhood illness, and it kind of makes you think that probably they're trying to incorporate, being the Egyptian bloodlines were very incestuous and a lot of disease because of that. I think their gods also kind of had the same problems that they had to as them. And one thing that was interesting about this is I kind of learned, because I always thought the pharaohs called themselves gods, but in here the two books kind of explained it as the pharaohs are kind of the intermediaries between humans and gods, and then that if they did a good job as a pharaoh, that then they would be granted an afterlife or godhood or something along those lines. Um, and then what was the other thing to learn from here? Um, with the Book of the Dead, this book, the one thing I did like about it is they had a lot of images that accompanied the texts. So, like here you go, and I don't know, just gives you extra context, and I thought that was like they're all over the place. So I thought that was a good addition to the book. And then let's see here, 5 minutes. So okay, I might split this up. And these are my other two books. So this book is Making a Zine or Zine. I think is yeah, Making a Zine. So uh, being my works of art aren't much more than a zine. I thought I'd look into it, and it's interesting. Like, I think in the '90s or something, there was a big. I think especially in like places like Portland and stuff, big like Zine kind of almost like uh, ecosystem kind of developed. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And so, I mean, this guy has some good art in here, and like it actually makes sense. Like you get a good group of people making stuff together. They kind of get they buy and sell stuff for $1. Like I think, oh yeah, that's right. I think this guy was based in New York. Like how it was kind of design. I think revolution. Happened maybe a little bit after the punk revolution, but I think this book is completely irrelevant today because one big part of design is self-expression. Well, you can do that for so much cheaper. Going online, um, going on YouTube. So I really hope I'm wrong. I hope there's another Zion explosion at some point, but uh, I don't think I am because like even me, like 20 years ago, before the internet was everywhere, I like getting like the High Plains reader. I like getting like if I went down the Twin Cities design. Now I completely ignore them because in the instance of the High Plains reader, I still get it, but most and maybe it was always this way, but any of their viewpoints are like just taken from national figures. Like there's every once in a while they'll have a local, a story of local interest, and that's kind of the same true with the Fargo Forum. It's just they take their ideas from other people. I mean, it's just kind of the way of maybe the way of society always has been run. But anyway, okay. Then the last book read was pretty depressing. People's Histories of the American Empire by Howard Zinn, and I don't believe with everything he's talking about here, but I do believe we've America has acted as an empire for on and off worse, times than others, but um, but this is good. Like he has a book that's like several hundred pages long, and this is a lot easier to get through. Pretty, but yeah, the one thing that I don't like about it is it kind of jumps around a lot in time. I would prefer if it was like chronological, but it's not. Um, Another thing that reading this book it gave me a little bit more sympathy for our political leaders of the day. Uh, Not that they deserve it, but basically an empire, what it does is goes into other lands and ensures that our businesses get cheap labor, cheap products, cheap raw goods, and then more or less usually that you know ensures that we have cheaper goods in America. That's my kind of impression of everything, and then our elites in America, everyone, both sides of the aisle, are so clueless. They like the Democrats just they say I don't even know what they even mean, want, but they say they want to invest more money in education. But at this point, our education system is so bloated and corrupt that that's not doing anything. The Republicans say, "Oh, let's just give everyone zero tax. Don't tax the rich at all." That's their idea of a plan. But really, if you look at this, you know, people's history of American empire, kind of what that shows is what our elites generally do is the only way they know how to succeed is by pitting people against each other, is by going in and getting low cost wages and labor from other nations and importing the goods to us. And now that that we don't have the same military might that we had, that's beginning to fall apart a bit, and so they're beginning to focus on us Americans as the ones to screw over even more, since they can't screw over foreigners as easy. That's just kind of how I see it. So I could be wrong about all that. Not going to get. If you guys want to get political in the comments, go ahead. Be good engagement. Thanks, guys. This is good. This is a good practice video.